सो यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन के दौरान बहुत बार क्या होता है कि भाई सिलेबस की किताबें पढ़ के हम बोर हो जाते हैं. एंड ऐसे में इफ़ यू आर समबडी लाइक मी हु लाइक्स रीडिंग अ लॉट ऑफ बुक्स, you want to read something that is related to syllabus but not really directly syllabus. So today's video is going to be about 6 such books which you can read to help improve your syllabus and also sort of give you a wider perspective on things. क्योंकि बहुत बार क्या होता है यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन में हम बहुत ही नैरो एक जोन में घुस के रह जाते हैं, विच इज़ 80-90% ऑफ द टाइम दैट्स ग्रेट. बट कभी कभार बीच बीच में अगर हम अपना होराइजन थोड़ा सा ब्रॉडन करें, be it through informative YouTube videos such as from channels like Johnny Harris or reading some books, it can be a great thing. So in today's video, let's talk about some great books. I'll recommend one book from each major subject so that जिसका जिस भी सब्जेक्ट में इंटरेस्ट हो हम उधर आगे जा सकते हैं. And if you want more such videos in the future, please do let me know in the comments and we'll see. Right, so to start off, let's go with history. History के लिए I would recommend this book by Sanjeev Sanyal. Sanjeev Sanyal is somebody who has another book on this list. Revolutionaries is a book that talks about the revolutionary movement in India. And I think it's a good idea to focus on this. Why? Because he's somebody who's the economic advisor, economic advisory council पे Sanjeev Sanyal बैठते हैं. And then he's somebody who's written a book on history. So that just, shows the breadth of his knowledge because, the next book that we have is also by Sanjeev Sanyal. This is a book about the incredible history of India's geography. So this is a book that walks you through कि भाई किस तरीके से the India that we came to know happened, right? कि भाई कहाँ से क्या चीज़ें बन रही हैं. This might be a very very simple story book type आपको लगेगा ये, and बहुत सारी चीज़ें इसमें डिस्कस होती हैं, right? So generally अगर आप देखोगे तो I like to write name and the month that I bought these books. I bought this book in January of 2018, and this book sort of walks you through from prehistoric कि भाई जब Pangea होता था, which was one single giant continent, to ancient Indian history, हरप्पन्स के बारे में बात होती है. Then medieval Indian history, मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक के बारे में बात होती है. Then about the sailors, the coming of Europeans to India, and present day India. So it's a great book, very slim, which gives you a very broad view of what's going down. Then we have this great book by Rajiv Sikri, who is a retired IFS officer, Challenges and Strategy. This is a little dated in the sense of कि ये किताब लिखी गई थी I think early 2010 में, or maybe I think it was written in the year 2009. So it was first published in the year 2009. And since then, obviously, 15 years have passed, a lot has changed. But since this is written by somebody who was in service, it gives you a very, very clear understanding of कि भी क्या intricacies हैं, क्या problems हैं, कहाँ पे चीज़ें फटती हैं when it comes to foreign policy. Next, we have a great book called 10 Judgments That Changed India by Zia Modi. So this is the book for Polity. Polity के लिए ये book इसलिए मैं recommend करता हूँ because this again gives you a very broad overview of कि भी क्या चीज़ें चल रही हैं, what is happening, and how things have evolved over time. So it starts off with things like Kesav Nanda Bharti case, and Kesav Nanda Bharti case, I'm sure all of you who are preparing for UPSC have heard of it one time or the other. And होता क्या है कि हमें बहुत बेसिक सी चीज़ उसके बारे में पता है कि भाई अच्छा केशव नंदा भारती केस ऐसा है कि भाई केशव नंदा भारती बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर इससे इवॉल्व हुआ, यहाँ से ऐसा हुआ. दिस बुक एसेंशियली वॉक्स यू थ्रू कि भाई हाउ डिड दैट हैपन, उससे पहले क्या हुआ था, उसके बाद क्या हुआ है, आगे इस चीज़ पे और क्या बात हो रही है. एंड नाउ दैट दिस इज़ अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन दैट नीड्स टू बी आंसर्ड अ लॉट ऑफ द टाइम्स कि भाई व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज़ द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर. तो दीज सॉर्ट्स ऑफ थिंग्स. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट जैसे यूथनेशिया का डिबेट है, तो उसके अलावा इंदिरा साहनी जजमेंट विच इज़ अ मेजर जजमेंट, 13 जज बेंच. All of these things are discussed in quite a lot of detail. It gives you a lot of context and history for कि भाई how did Indian political system or polity come to be what it is today. Next, we have a bit of a dense book, but again, this is a book written by Nobel laureates Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo. So this book is Good Economics for Hard Times. It's bit dense, but अगर आपको एक्चुअली समझना है कि भाई किस तरीके से इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी इम्पैक्ट करती है द वेलबींग ऑफ अ नेशन, सो this is a great book. The subtext even reads better answers to our biggest problems. And दैट इज़ वॉट इट इज़ कि बहुत बार वी आर मेकिंग पॉलिसी इन अ वैक्यूम, एंड व्हेन वी आर मेकिंग पॉलिसी इन अ वैक्यूम तो हम धक्के से चल रहे हैं कि जी ऐसा कर देते हैं, देखते हैं क्या होगा, विच इज़ समथिंग दैट अभिजीत बैनर्जी एंड एस्टर डफ्लो टॉक अगेंस्ट. एंड उसके अलावा फिर क्या करना चाहिए, दैट्स व्हाट दिस बुक इज ऑल अबाउट. फाइनली, फॉर एनवायरमेंट we have this great compendium from Down to Earth. Annual report इनकी आती है State of India's Environment 2024. Now this is sort of like a magazine, but you know environment के लिए मुझे कोई और ऐसे ढंग की किताब मिली नहीं. So if you have a book that you feel कि environment के लिए this is a great book to read, I would love to know more, and please do let me know in the comments. But this book will actually make you very very sad. Why? Because you'll realize कि we're not living in a great time and place, and the world is probably going to end in more ways than one. So it can be a bit depressing if you read this, but again, that is the reality that we need to face and work towards. And as budding future civil servants, you will be the ones who will be solving these problems. So that will be all for today's video. If you have any other books or you would want me to recommend कि भाई biographies कुछ civil servants की या कुछ और genre में बात कर सकते हैं, तो let me know and we'll have a chat. All the best.